Hi students. I said I'd do a video on the precast capping, the precast panel that goes on top of your building, on top of your wall here. Um, so there's a couple of ways you can go about this. I think if you're doing this in practice, you would probably actually make a family something similar to how you made the panel families yourself here. The way I'm going to do it is probably the quick way. It's not bad in terms of a reflection of what the actual panel is. It can be tagged and it can be measured as well. Okay, so here we are. For example, this is my upstand here, and I just want to bring in Pierce's little sketch here that he did. So you can see it there. That's roughly what Pierce had done. Okay. So there's room here for insulation. There's insulation on top there. There'll be a fixing kind of coming through here, and maybe even a fixing through onto the concrete panel, or where this oversails the curtain walling, there'll probably be a fixing back into the upstand here. So there's plenty of room for maneuver here in terms of fixing the actual panel itself. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch out the panel first here. And a couple of things that I need to know is the insertion point. That's a kind of a dowel, if you like, or a representation of a dowel in here. So I need to know the insertion point, uh, and that'll become relevant when I bring this into the family template that I'm going to use here. Okay, so I'm going to start off by going into annotating into detail line. And I'm going to use just a thin line here. Now, it's important that you use kind of a continuous line because whatever line you use here is going to reflect back on the way the actual panel is presented. So don't use a hidden line or something like that, something that has a dashed line. Just use a solid line. That's the point I'm trying to make here. All right, so I'm going to start. I'm going to leave a little bit of room here, top, bottom, and everywhere else for maneuvering, if you like. So I'm going to get in there maybe and go something like that. Okay. Now I want this to oversail here a little bit. What you're seeing in the background here in my thing here, that's the Kingspan cladding. Okay. So and again, I don't want to make this too heavy, so I'm going to make it maybe 240. Okay, on a width there, and let's come all the way up here. All right, and because these are sketch lines or they're detail lines, I'll be able to fool around with them. Now, so we want a little bit of a fall here. Okay, just maybe a degree or two, and then I want it extending over the insulation here as well. So I'm coming around 940 or so there. Again, down to about 280, 180 there. Okay, and then I'll come across here and I'm going to use my offset tool. So back onto detail line, and I'm going to offset this one to 240. Wasn't that a 240? Okay, so there's the 240 there. Now that's I'll just fillet these two here. Now that is roughly my shape there. Okay. Now, obviously, with the detail lines and whatever, you can, you can put, because it's in cut. But if you wanted some shadow gaps and things like that, you could introduce them in here as well if that's what you wanted to do. So I'm just going to make this kind of plain. Now, my insertion point is going to be here, I think, something like that. All right. So what I want to do is kind of just pinpoint this, but I want to pinpoint it without having to bring extra lines in. So I just want to find the center point of that line there. Look, something like that. All right. and that's that one. But what I really want is the center point of this line here. So I'm going to see if I can, again, get the center point of this line. There it is. Okay. All right. Now, so if I want to, and again, this is just a quick way of being able to fix this, is that you might have dowels inserted in on the top here and receiver sleeves here, so you can just drop the unit in here. It gives it a bit of a fixing to begin with, if you know what I mean. Okay, so let me come across and measure this. So my distance from there to say the center of the dowel, right, is going to be something like 410, 412. All right, so from here, 410, 412, remember that, and I'll just delete that line to get it out of the way. Right, now that I've got it kind of drawn up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my line work. All right, something like that. Now, I'm going to put it onto the copy clipboard. Okay, escape. Now, what I'm going to do is come over and I'm going to open up a new family, and let's open up the templates here. And what I'm looking for here is a profile hosted. All right, metric profile hosted. I'll open that. Okay, now you can see that the insertion point is in the intersection of these two lines here. That's why I wanted to know that. And here's the host face as such. So I'm going to go over now to my modify, and I'm going to paste from the clipboard, right? And while that's still selected, okay, I'm going to get it roughly where I want it. Okay, and like so. All right. Now, so once I click out, I'm going to lose the selection there. So didn't we say that we wanted these line works? Okay, these are profile lines as opposed to invisible, so that's fine. I'm going to leave those as profile lines. And I want to just establish, again my 4, didn't we say it was 412? 412. Okay. Now, so, and again, I don't want to keep these lines, but I'm going to use these. So again, let's select each one of those, and that one, and this one, and the rest as well. And you'll see why it's worth going to the trouble here of, okay, move. Right, now. Okay, and I think, so I have that right, it's there. But if I go back to Pierce's sketch here, right, you can see the insulation there. So I want it up a little bit higher, I think. Let me just go back to my my section here. All right, so the insertion point is there. So it needs to be that distance up off the insertion point, isn't that it? So that should be 97 or so. I'll make it 97, 98. I might make it 100 back here. So again, I will just select all of those lines. Okay. And now I'm going to move these and just move them up 100. Let's move that one up 100. Okay, now we're back to where we were. All right, now, so I've got the insertion point and I can delete that now. I don't need that. And I'm 100 above and I'm correctly sized there. Now, that's all I really need. Okay, so I'm going to do a file save as. And I am going to put this into my correct folder, concrete building. And I will call this, this is going to be my parapet panel. option C, I think something like that, profile. Okay, Parapet, and I'll save that. Now you can see it's saved there, so I'm going to load it into the project. Right, now next job is back into here, and I'm going to select this wall here, so I'll tab here, select the wall, and I'm going to edit that wall. Okay, and then I'm going to into edit here, and then I'm going to add this as a sweep. So I'll put this into a section, and it's the top of this wall I'm interested in here. So I'm going to add a sweep, and then I'm going to load the profile, which I saved. Let me just see if it is here. Oh, I'm going to add a line. That's what I'm going to do first. Add a line first. Then let's go over to the profile. And I should have, because I've loaded it into the project, option C. There it is there. Okay. So it's going in at the top. We leave it to the exterior side. So you need to just play around with this. I'll just hit apply. Okay. And there it is there. Okay. Now, so we need to kind of shift this around a little bit. Sweeps. The orientation. I think, if I'm right, I probably need to put it that side there. All right. Now I need to shift it across here. So it's either a minus or a plus figure here. So minus 100. And just apply, and that's getting it a little bit closer. So didn't I say I wanted it minus 140? Okay. Now, so something like that there at the moment. It's a structural material. It's concrete cast in situ. That's correct. Okay. And okay. All right. Now, so if I go into my 3D, wherever that one has occurred, you can see that I have got my parapet there. So it's automatically applied. Now, something a little bit funny over there. That's where you've got this little step in the wall, but we can deal with that. But wherever that parapet wall has occurred, I've now got my parapet panel. All right. Now, what would be nice is if we could split that. So let me just go into section 1 here. Okay, so there it is there. And let's come out nicely there. And again, I have to wrap the insulation in around here as well. Okay, and we do that. Oh, you can see now that one is a little bit shorter. So that distance there is a little bit shorter. So I might need to do a second option on that to avoid something like that. But it seems to have gone in everywhere else as I want it. Okay, and I can wrap my insulation in around there.